answer simple questions from the media like everybody else, if you can't do your job like everybody else, if you was to go to a job, me both know whether you handicap or not.
I know we talk.
If your job is
we're not talking about you and me. We're talking about the best player in the tennis organization.
I got you. I don't care who you are.
And we're talking about the court of public appearance.
But you still got the Serenas. You still got the whoever's. They got to come. They got to do this.
We got 10 minutes left.
We got to do this. They got to do this too. So you come and you get the special. Just because you're a special player, you get the special treatment. How does that go make our league look, or the people amongst you look?
It's gonna make them look how the NBA
look. I got bitches have issues too.
It's gonna make
I couldn't do that.
It's gonna make the World Tennis Association look the same exact way the National Basketball Association looked when they didn't suspend LeBron James for breaking COVID protocol. Sometimes you make exceptions for your best players.
Man, that shit can't happen. That shit may not be.
That's equal,
not LeBron James.
But
hold on, time out. That's not LeBron James. That's one game, 2 games. This is for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? This is an issue that she has. This is not no party. This is an issue. This is a mental. This is when does she get better? I don't know. She got this shit the rest of her life.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this though. If you're at a job and you suffer from that job from anxiety, that job ain't firing you. They give you time paid off medical leave. Or they allow
That's
you.
My point.
Or they.
Thank you.
Whoa. That's
so
one
let's
scenario.
Give her some paid medical leave.
One scenario. They also allow you to work within your parameters as well. I've seen this personally.
That's called reasonable accommodations.
Exactly. So they may allow her to work within her parameters where, okay, you can work and you play tennis, but we understand you may not be able to do all these interviews because of your anxieties, your mental health issues. These interviews give you anxiety. You're able to do your job. Playing the game doesn't make you do anxiety. Like you're in a stadium. You're able to get all of the eyeballs onto the screen. But you're just not available for the app, for the post interview, for the tidbits, for the sound bites. But you're able to fill up the stands and get in the viewers. Isn't that a little bit more important? When you want to break it down to just capitalism?
No. In Cherokee, my game is more important. When it comes to this like the NBA. NBA make concessions for they're the best at making concessions, especially for minority groups. They trailblazing. Most of these football, tennis, golf, these are racist fucking organizations. You ain't about to change or run nothing in this culture. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't really need your money. Because black folks don't watch this shit anyway. The people who watching this shit will agree with me.
But she's black and Asian.
Traditionalists.
So she's getting the black and Asian viewership.
It don't make a difference. The people who technically watch our shit, that's faithful fans, they gonna agree with me.
We'll see.
Because that's just because it ain't like the NBA when they got a huge African American fan base. Niggas don't watch tennis.
That's right. It's like niggas in Paris.
So that's a real thing. So my point is they're doing it for a reason, and so they gotta have somebody in the room to say, "Hey, this might blow back on us the wrong way." I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? This is the integrity of our sport.
Can I tell you, part of me also feels sometimes that their initial backlash sometimes is just because that's just the way that they've always been used to doing things. Like that's just your initial response to things, and then that's just the way that. Because listen, I've even caught myself when I 2 years ago when I was working in the field for sports. That sometimes when your only response is that's just how we always did do things, then it may be time to sit back and reevaluate what you're actually doing.
What you right. But look, we said that about the NFL. Look where Cap at.
Facts. Damn.
But then you got bum niggas like Tebow out here getting opportunities.
You know what? On that note, I think I'm about to end the podcast. Shit. Thank you, Chill Will, for always for taking your time out and joining us on the podcast. Making the Drunk Uncles podcast what it is to this day. Everybody else, happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Chill, I'm sorry for yelling at you, brother. You know I love you.
Oh no, No, man, no, it's ours. No, come on, man. It's real shit.
Hey, man,
This is RNS over here, baby. Hey,
listen,
you know the
love,
vibe,
man.
Listen, as long as there's a common understanding that it's real nigga shit.
Like, you realize the only person that had to leave the room was the light skin.
Don't do that, Mark. He talking about you.
You know what? You know what?
Sorry.
Make them download this episode. All right, big dog.
All right, family, be safe.
Every Memorial Day, everybody again.
All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained.
Oh man, that was just too perfect.
No lag, no lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the
By the time I
pod
take a
there.
shower,
Just a
get
lot
myself ready.
later
It'll be
than a
perfect
lot
time to
of
hit this
listeners
barbecue.
thought. Last of the real gabbers.
Damn, NBA players
Well,
really going off.
Maybe
about
not
that
the
Kyrie
last. Munchkin
The
got
fans
good
throwing the
mic
bottle.
skills.
can I tell you this? Oh, I'm gonna
You.
talk over the outro.
Improve.
There needs to be no
My
fake. Mama, last week we said there needs to be that whoever does this stuff needs to have their photo. They're gonna drag through the mud the same way that there needs to be no fame for that
Last
person,
call for
whether negative or
trades.
positive. They don't need their 15 minutes of
Bars
publicity
closing.
because they may be able to turn that shit into money.
Into a positive, exactly.
So fuck that. No fame,
Heard the
just
casino
shame.
got a buffet
Just
breakfast.
They need to be able to
Don't
spend
want
at least
to
a
go far.
week in jail and have 1,000 hours
Oh,
of community
that
service.
motherfucker in Boston.
Tied.
You should have seen how they booked him.
Oh,
Tied.
I know they locked them up. but
They had about 5 niggas locking his ass up, putting him in cuffs,
Listen,
walking him out of there.
there needs to be
Talk about possibly giving him the full sentencing of
Listen.
10 years.
It needs to start something with like a month to a week in jail, which you can get reduced down to a weekend, like which I wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? But you should never be able to negotiate out of 1,000 hours of community service.
No.
So while I'll allow you to negotiate the jail time down to a weekend in jail, right? But you have to do some jail time. But it can never be never less than a weekend in jail. There needs to always be that you can never get off the table 1,000 hours of community service. You need to inconvenience that motherfucker's life until the point where they have to reflect on their actions. And that's the last bonus shit you get for the podcast. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We got drinking and smoking and all kinds of shit. Thank you for joining the podcast, Tex. Like, don't worry, I think your Cowboys gonna do alright. And by alright, I mean...
Okay.
I'm
I
lying.
literally
I was
means
being
9
nice.
and
I was
8,
being
8 and
nice.
9. That's what I means.
This is really being nice. I have no faith for that whatsoever.
Giants.
All day.
Giants.
All day. I am a giant. Stand up on my
And
shoulder.
I'm choosing
Tell me
them
what
by
you
default.
sing.
I'm choosing
I
them by
am
default.
a giant.
The Eagles are garbage.
I be
Washington,
crushing Cowboys
nobody
underneath my
repeats.
feet. I am giant,
Washington, nobody
giant,
repeats.
giant.
The Cowboys, their schedule is too easy. They're gonna fuck that up. So by default, Giants, 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 Giants.
Whoa, I be crushing Redskins underneath my feet.
We'll be crushing Washington underneath
Oh,
our
I'm sorry. Washington
not Redskins.
underneath
Whatever
my
that.
feet. Whoa, I be crushing Cowboys underneath my feet. Whoa, I be crushing Eagles underneath.
Shit, and
my
real
feet.
soon Dallas is gonna have to change their name too.
Giant.
That's a conversation for another podcast. They're gonna have to change their name real soon.
From Cowboys or America's favorite team?
From Cowboys.
Really?
Oh yeah.
There's controversy in that?
There's controversy, but soon come.
Because of how the Cowboys interacted with the Indians, or just for Cowboys in general?
Both. Like I
Damn.
said, conversation for another podcast.
You guys just got a teaser for a day that I can't even give you. MyT
Sports.
Where's the YouTube feed? Let's get that motherfucker out of here too. That shit been frozen for a while. I think it's just been